Hello, welcome back to another episode of the Smite Noob podcast. It's episode 3 tonight. We're going to be later on joined by a few NA folk. We're going to talk about the NA side of the Smite Noob League / Audacity Gaming. And also, we're going to be initially joined by Kevin, where we're going to talk about some general league stuff. So let's just jump in it. How are you doing, Kevin?
Yeah. Hello there. I'm doing good. How are you, Ivan?
Yeah, I'm doing fine. We had a few great games us this week. We played against Church of Kronos, and then also there was a big derby you and I both watched in the top league of EU, which was between We Are Deadly and Shalom Jack, which is I think gonna get streamed, right?
Yeah, it's gonna get streamed next week on the Audacity Gaming Live Twitch channel.
So. Nice, it's gonna get cast, and all the hype it deserves. It was a really close series, so definitely hyped up for that one. The two top teams. Last week we had Shalom Jack on the show, and they talked the talk, but did they walk the walk? Well, I guess you can find out when it's being streamed next week. But yeah, we have some topics to jump into, and probably the biggest one a lot of people have been asking us about, and they feel a bit weirded out about is why is the game not showing up on the website when it's played. So can you talk a bit about that, Kevin?
Yeah, so there is a 7-day delay before it shows up, and that's not by choice. So Hi-Res has implemented a 7-day delay on getting all the data from a custom game. So like, for example, a ranked game you can instantly get all the data from, but for a custom game there is a 7-day delay to prevent SPL scrim sniping. So that's basically why there is a 7-day delay before the match that shows, because like we can't get them before.
Yeah, it's made to protect the pro scrims pretty much. But maybe they can. Hopefully they implement a new system, but I doubt that they're gonna look into that recently or soon, at least.
Yeah.
Hopefully if somebody from Hi-Res is watching, maybe just and they see how the league is doing pretty well, I think they maybe can give Kevin access to your delay, and he's gonna have to sign a contract to not leak pro scrims or something. That could be a solution for sure. But yeah, hopefully there's some way we can resolve this with Hi-Res. But for now, it has to be like that because it's just a restriction that they've introduced themselves to protect the pro player scrims, which is fair enough. But yeah, it's a bit annoying for a league and a cool website that wants to be entirely automated like Smite Noob League. But yeah, well, we're dealing with it, so at least now you guys know for sure what's happening with that. Another question we've been getting a lot is how do you schedule a match with another captain? So you want to talk a bit about that as well, Kevin?
So there has been quite a bit of mess between some teams to schedule a match. Like, I don't know, some people don't get it, but basically me and Evan are gonna explain to you how you could best go about it. So there's like this first one, there's this website you can use. It's whentomeet.com. You can like fill in a date and a time slot, and then everyone can like say when they can and when they can, and then you will get like the website will give you an ideal. So basically,
you fill in your availabilities for a week or something, and then they can send it to the enemy captain. He can fill it for their team as well, and you can find a matching somewhere where they overlap.
Yeah. And then the second part is clear communication. So when you find a day to play, you go like, hey, what's best for you guys? You get a date, for example, Thursday. Then you go like, okay, I think 7 p.m. suits us the best. I'm going to ask my team if we all can, and you do the same. Then you both do that. Then you say like, yo, all 5 of us can play at 7 p.m. Thursday. How about you guys? And then they will confirm it, and then you have an actual confirmation on when to play the match. And then if you can't in the future, let at least know the enemy captain like more than an hour before.
So you don't get a penalty point. And remember, you have 50. If you're late 15 minutes to the match, that's already a game lost in the series. And if you're 30 minutes, you forfeit the whole series, so you're gonna lose 2-0. So be sure to also either secure a sub or something if player is gonna be missing. Or the other way, in which Kevin said is notify the captain, the enemy team, at least an hour before that. You're not going to be able to play on that time, or you're going to be a bit late. So you can perhaps reschedule for a bit later time, or maybe even a later date. Depends on what's available for both. Both teams, of course. Yeah, another fun or weird competitive beginner is from a player that literally never died in his games. But we obviously we have the Smite Noob leaderboards, and we have the KDA on there, but he never was present. So what's going on with that, Kevin?
Yeah, so there is a small bug. It's a calculating bug.
Yeah.
It's pretty widely spread in programming. So if you try to divide something by 0, it actually like won't do it,
Yeah.
or like
I
because
mean
the
that's
dividing by 0
mathematics for you right there.
yeah, it doesn't have a result. And there should be a check for that, but in that particular bit of the code for the KDA, there isn't a check, so the player doesn't appear in the top 5 KDAs and because he never died.
Yeah. A
Yeah.
quite funny bug, but yeah, it's gonna be fixed really quick and soon. So yeah.
Yeah.
Another one we've been talking about and you've been discussing is a survey you wanted to make, right?
Yeah. So I want to make a survey about how everybody feels playing in the split from all the captains. Like,
I mean,
and
we're
it's just
closing
gonna
in
have
on the
some.
midpoint, so people should have like a decent bit of information, right?
Yeah.
And experience. So yeah, pretty much the survey is gonna be about how you feel about the league, any improvements, etc. Like just to get a quick glimpse from everybody. So it would be much appreciated if captains took at least captains took time of their day to just quickly fill in. And I reckon it's not gonna be too long, right?
No, it's not gonna be too long. It's just
just a
gonna be
few
like a few
questions.
minutes.
Yeah, a few minutes, a few questions to just give Kevin and people from Audacity as well basically manage and run all the leagues to make sure that everything is going fine for people that are playing. Because obviously at the end of the day, that's the most. If people are not having fun playing it, then what's the point? So yeah, pretty much just feedback on what you think about the league and the website and everything like that. It's gonna be spread out in around the middle of the split, probably.
Yeah, around middle of the split.
So in a few weeks, maybe like 2 weeks. Yeah, we'll see. We'll
a
definitely
bit more. I think like a week or 5.
Yeah,
4 or 5.
maybe. Yeah. So we're gonna let you guys know for sure, and there's gonna be announcement, um, in Discord, etc., to let you guys know. So yeah, pretty much that. And yeah, as I said, guys, in the start, we're gonna be joined by Revify from Audacity, right, Kevin?
Yeah, Ravi, it's the owner and main manager of Audacity, and Kaiser will also join us, and he's the head caster.
Yeah. So we're gonna talk a bit about the NA divisions as well as Audacity themselves and their collaboration with the Smite Noob League. So see you guys in a sec.
Yeah. So we're back with our guests. We're actually guests. It's only Ravi because Kaizo didn't feel too well, so he's not actually joining us. But Ravi can also answer all the questions and have some fun with us. So hey, Ravi, how are you doing?
I'm doing good, man. Thanks for having me on the podcast.
Yeah. Awesome to have you here. Well, can you quickly introduce yourself, maybe for people that don't know you?
Yeah, sure. I mean, I'm Revify, or a.k.a. my name's Randy, for y'all that don't know. But basically, I made the server Audacity Gaming, and we recently partnered with Lolly for the Smite Noob League to kind of come together. So that way we can kind of have a great experience for everyone, and just by doing one league instead of having to do multiple.
Yeah. Oh, that's awesome. And you guys run a league previously, or run your own league yourself, and you had some games or the finals casted on the actual Smite Game channel. So how was that for you guys?
Yeah, it went well. It was doing a lot better than I expected it to. We started out in October, so it's still fairly new.
Yeah.
But we grew very fast, so I was actually once again kind of surprised by it. And then everyone kind of started jumping in, and then Kaizo and I had other people ended up joining the team that kind of helped boost it even more. So we ended up, as you said, the finals were broadcasted on Smite's official Twitch, and we had all the SPL casters helping out.
Yeah, it was
it was just an amazing time. So I'm hoping we can do something like that on the next tournament we do.
Yeah,
is something like that, but we're still in talks with them on like ideas that we can do, but I'm not going to say too much right now just because nothing's set in stone. So hopefully that's something we could do.
Yeah, it sounds pretty hype. I mean, I did watch the finals myself, and it was pretty interesting to see. Like the SPL casters actually get to cast some like amateur games pretty much. Even though, I mean, the level was pretty high, right? I think the players were pretty good, pretty high on the spy ranked leaderboard. But of course, it's still not a professional game, and obviously when you get like this a bit higher elevated production, so you can say it makes the product even like that much more interesting and fun to watch for sure. But while on the topic of spectating cast games, we've been saying with Kevin for a few weeks now that you guys are definitely gonna get and jump on the action and cast some of the games for the current season of the league. So yeah, maybe people would want to know how they can make sure to have a maybe like a way the game is casted. So can you kind of light
Yeah.
that?
Yeah, for sure. So yeah, basically the way that we cast it and the easiest way to get it, or at least the system that we started making, is we basically have teams post their time that they're going to be scheduling their game at on a certain channel on the server.
Yep.
And basically, what we end up doing is just telling them, if you put it on there, you have a chance to get your game casted. So if you want your game casted, guys, just make sure you're putting it in the channel. I believe it's called Matchup Time or NA Matchup Time. And once you post in there, it'll let the casters see it. And Kaizo's the one who kind of gets the casters together and gets all their schedules to work. So basically, as far as how we choose which games are going to be casted, is we look at the divisions and we want to make sure we're getting different games from each division. So we're not going to get too godlike in one cast. We won't do anything like that. The next thing is we're going to look at the times that people are doing. So
Yeah.
Obviously, we can't, or it'll be hard for us to do two games at the same time that are being casted. So what we end up doing is getting one of us to spectate the games to get the match IDs, and then from then on, if that works for us, then we'll try to get people to do that. But if we don't have anyone to get the match IDs, that's kind of what makes it hard for us to get it. So if you're doing a time frame that no other team is doing, or you're doing it at a time that's available for us, that's one way to do it. But also, if you're once again one of the first ones to post it, you have a higher chance to get your game casted because you're the first one on the list. So it's kind of like first come, first go on that. But once again, it has to do with the timing of the casters. It has to do with the timing of who can spectate, and basically get all that together. So we're trying to make it as fair as possible for everybody, because everyone wants to get their games casted. I know how that feels, because I want to get my games casted. So the main thing is just post it early on the chat, and if there is any changes, just notify one of us and just let us know. Like that way we can immediately let the other Audacity casters know, so there's nothing changing on their end.
Yep. So there you go, guys. Just go to the Dusty Gaming Discord and find the right channel and post there if you want to get your match casted. And there's a decent chance it's gonna get casted. So yeah. Also, you've been playing in the NA in the godlike division with your team, and maybe you've also had some scrims or some inside knowledge of results that have occurred. So me and Kevin ourselves, we don't have too much knowledge of the amateur NA scene. We have a lot more knowledge of the EU scene, of course. And we wanted to ask you quickly if you have some unexpected results occurring in NA division right there, and something maybe interesting people check out.
I would say some unexpected thing that's been happening is I've been seeing a lot of people joining the league that were on the same team that's switching teams, and then I've seen some people that's actually stayed on the same team, and it looks like everyone's starting to become, I don't know, more of a team this split, because they had a lot more experience from the last one. So it's really good. Especially, I don't know if y'all saw the stream from the last week one, the season league, but the godlike one was really good. It was like a 40-minute game, so it's a lot good to see. And just from looking at week one, it looks like a lot of people are enjoying the website. I've been kind of sneaking on and seeing basically what everyone's been posting, like their stats and stuff, and it's kind of a cool experience to see this many teams just coming together on week one. Obviously there have been bumps, and those bumps have just basically been the scheduling issues and stuff like that, but that's basically it as far as that goes.
Yeah, no, for sure. And we've seen some people also upload their games from their perspective on YouTube and places like that. So that's also you could do pretty cool if your game is not getting casted for sure. Like you can get still that exposure in a sense, and it's been interesting to look into some of the games that have been played. Some really interesting videos for sure from the NA scene I've seen. But yeah, as well. Maybe like some of the results. Did you find something unexpected or an upset or something like that in the results, or did it go as you probably expected?
I wouldn't say there was any necessarily upsets that we've seen so far that wasn't expected. The only teams that were getting 2-0'd were one team that I don't really know yet just because they're newer. But what I have noticed is that the divisions are helping a lot. It seems like the games are a lot closer than they were, because before we had the divisions, it made it a lot more difficult for especially newer teams to come in that have been to play against people that's been playing against people with, maybe 6 months of experience of playing together. So I guess that would be the only thing that's like that was kind of, I guess, unexpected but kind of expected at the same time. But yeah, that's about it. The divisions have been helping a lot.
Yeah, that's awesome to hear. That system is working way better now. Obviously, there have been some complaints directed towards some of the teams perhaps using Smurfs and stuff like that. But I don't know how they feel a bit baseless.
Yeah.
To be
So
honest.
another thing with that too, I actually wanted to talk about that. So I'm glad you mentioned it.
Sure.
As far as like the Smurfing goes, the way we base the divisions is we basically based it off of what everyone told us. So obviously it's the first time we had division. So trying to put 64 teams into divisions right off the spot without even knowing majority of the players, it's going to take some time to get everyone in the right spot. So just like when season 8 came out, they had everyone do a hard reset on their elo. You're going to have some of those games where it's just not fair. But what we're going to end up doing is trying to hopefully fix that down the road. And the more seasons we do or more splits we do, it'll get closer. And then going more on the Smurfing, some of the people I ended up talking to that were doing or being accused of Smurfing, saying they put a lower spot on their ranking system, even though they were higher in ranked, is because as a team, they are not able to beat the higher level team. So they might be a diamond in ranked, but as a team, their team is probably only as good as a gold team.
Exactly, and that's pretty important to keep in mind that obviously it's a team game, and this is not like based only on the player's personal skill, because at the end of the day, we have some examples in our division where there's pretty good individual players, but obviously the team around them is just not working perfectly, or just the whole team is a bunch of good players, but they're not working well as a team, and obviously they're gonna lose games. You probably expect them to win against people that are lower because of teamwork, obviously. Yeah, I really like that you mentioned that eventually, at the end of the day, it's a team game, so teamwork and everything like that is way more important than individual skill when it comes to playing in a league such as this one. And we can also talk about a bit with Kevin and I that we were expecting to be a godlike division team, but we did scrim a lot of the godlike division teams, and we actually didn't fare too well against them.
Smacked.
Yeah, pretty much
Absolutely
smacked.
So
even though I can say the same thing with my team. Yeah, same thing. Like some of these, like I said, some of these new teams that are coming in have set the bar higher than it was in the previous ones. Because like I said, my team was getting stomped. We even picked up Antics, and for you guys that don't know, Antics is on a Challenger Cup team, and he was basically seed 1 there, and he was on our team, and we still lost. So that just kind of shows it's not just a one-player team going on, or one person can't make a team, as he was saying earlier. It's about how you play together.
Yep. Oh, for sure. So yeah, now that we addressed that, you guys, you guys as in Smite Noob and Audacity Gaming obviously partnered up February, I think it was, and it's been pretty much, well, it's been a bit over a month, I would assume at this point. So how are you guys feeling about the partnership this far? So maybe Kevin, you can start.
I think it's been very fruitful. We've been working good together. We've been boosting each other up. I would just say we help each other in every way we can, and just the work he does is pretty good. So I think it's been nice.
Yeah, and I'm gonna back you up on that one too, because usually when you end up having another team member or someone you're working with, there's always a thing of like, okay, what are they going to be doing, or are you going to end up having to basically babysit them? But it hasn't really been the case with Ollie and SNL because he's done a great job with the website, and he's also been really good at answering people's questions. And since we partnered up, the website and all the programming that we've had has allowed us to be able to manage more teams. So we went from managing 18 all manually to now we have a website where we can actually hold up to 64 teams. And then when people have questions, he's taking a lot of workload too by helping people out, and it's not just all on me. So I've absolutely loved the partnership we've had so far.
Awesome, that's great to hear, and hopefully it's going to be a long and fruitful one for sure. But yeah, I mean, from an outside perspective, it definitely like looks really good, and the way that you guys brought in the NA people, and it became pretty much a whole intercontinental, I guess you can say, league in that sense.
And the
So-
casting and
and the
stuff,
casting,
and
yeah, of course.
helping with management in general, and also making choices with the experience they have. It's really nice.
No,
Yeah, and going off of each other too. That's another thing. It's like being able to back each other off or help each other through like questions that need to be done, like rules and stuff.
Yeah. No, of course. That sounds awesome. Well, moving on, we can quickly talk about something, and as you guys maybe noticed watching the podcast the previous 2 weeks, we've been doing always a tier list at the end with one of the divisions. We did 2 from EU, but of course this week we're not gonna have one because we don't really have too much information on NA, and probably a few weeks afterwards we're probably not gonna have a tier list either done, because we feel like the information currently available to us and to everybody isn't enough to really judge teams accurately. There've been a lot of sort of say tectonic shifts happening with teams we expected to do pretty well that have broken down and not done well at all, and teams that we expected to be pretty bad doing like overcoming their potential and doing fantastically. So obviously it's quite a gray area for us to judge these teams, and last week we had some people from actual division who scrimmed a lot to help us with ranking the teams, but then again some upsets happened this week, so it isn't accurate by any means, and we think once we have a bit more information, a bit knowledge of everybody playing, some picks, etc., what the meta is going to shape up to be, we're going to do better with ranking those teams, and we're going to continue the tier list from then on. But for now, yeah, I think we're going to put them on a bit of a pause, a bit of a hold, and wait for that information, as I mentioned.
Yep.
Yeah, so another topic we wanted to discuss was showing up on time for your games. Isn't that hard, actually? So a lot of games are actually getting a forfeit win for at least one, if not two. Oh well, actually we can't really talk about that one, Kevin, can we? Because this week we're actually late for our game by 15 minutes or so.
Yeah,
so we had
our
to drop,
Phil needed to install an update, and the update took a bit. So
we started updating 30 minutes before the match finished, about 19 after it was meant to begin. But yeah, so showing up on time. Come on, guys. It is what it is. As I said earlier, you can use this scheduling tools online. You can ask your team if they're available. If they don't answer, just maybe don't schedule it for that day. Wait for them to answer, tell you when they're available. And while it is, at the end of the day, people have lives, right? They can't always be there. It's understandable. So have a sub already, at least one sub we can just instantly toss them in, ask them to join, and replace one of the players. Yeah, of course you're going to be disadvantaged, but at least you're going to have a chance to win the game instead of forfeiting and just not having a chance to even get a game out of them and win potentially a point. Another thing we can mention is, I mean, pretty much just as I said previously, ask your team, make sure to use these scheduling tools. Yeah. Oh, actually, I forgot my point. Maybe Kevin, you can take over and have some pointers that you can give to.
Oh, pointers for scheduling.
Yeah.
Yeah. just make sure like everybody doesn't get into a Smite match like 20 minutes before it starts. Like just chill out, wait, go to the toilet. Like be there like 50 minutes early and just like do your thing.
I
Like
mean,
go to the
something
toilet.
we've
Like
been
get
doing to
some
warm
water.
up is actually play a custom 1v1 gentleman's match.
Oh yeah, so what we did as well, me and Ivan, we just go into a custom conquest match 1v1. I mean, like we try some janky starts, or like we just do stuff, and yeah.
Or a joust 1v1 just to warm up your mechanics.
Yeah,
it's just
yeah.
a few things you can do, and you can instantly quit and not have any time wasted for the enemy team. But it's also unfortunate because at the end of the day you lose the games, but you also waste the time with the enemy team. So they've been preparing, they've been ready, they're there on time, and you come in 30 minutes late, and it's already they just don't get to play any games as well. I mean, it's just not fun for them either. So perhaps be more mindful, more respectful of other teams, please, and make sure to schedule properly with your teammates as well. As I said, have a sub ready at least. We couldn't, one of our players couldn't play, and we learned quite late, so we just grabbed the sub we knew, and we've played with before, so got him in for the games, even though it was a little bit late. We still managed to play 2 games for the 2 of the following games because we automatically lost 1, and
so now you had that spoiler that we won 1-2. Nice. I also have a quick note on a quirky stat. So actually, at the moment, 5% of all the matches that have been played were forfeits for people not showing up. So I don't think that's unacceptable. But
it's quite unfortunate because also you don't get your stats on the website, so you're probably never gonna appear on the leaderboards because you've not played any matches to have the equal stats according to players who've played like 3 matches already, and there's some teams that've played 0 matches and have 2 or 3 wins or something like that. So it's a pretty thing for the players as well playing, because you're not gonna appear on the leaderboards. You're not gonna really have a chance to top the kill leaderboards or the assist leaderboards or something like that, because you won't have enough games played comparably, and that's definitely gonna hurt you in the long run if you want to appear on the leaderboards, which is pretty cool, in my opinion.
Yeah.
So make sure to be on time. At least if you're late, let the as we said, let the other team captain know some time before the match. So at least an hour, I think, is reasonable, and see if you can work something out with them. But I don't know. It doesn't feel too hard to be on time.
Yeah, honestly, I feel like that's great tips. I mean, I think the biggest one too is don't start a game 20 minutes before your match, because you would hate if someone on the other team did it. So just try to have the common courtesy to do the same thing. So same thing if you were like going to work, you wouldn't show up to work 5 minutes after you're supposed to clock in. You show up 5 minutes before you're supposed to clock in. So treat it like I hate to say a job, but treat it like you need to be there at that time. So show up sooner, and then always have that sub as backup. Like, even if, no one necessarily wants to be a sub on a team, but if you have that sub just in case, like, it'll keep your team where they can stay ready without getting, DQ'd. It helps not waste your time, and it even helps the other team, and it's just going to make a better experience for everyone in the league in general.
Yep. Yeah, exactly. Nothing to add, really.
Yep. Anything you want to talk about, Revi? With us, or about, you want to say something?
I guess the main thing I would just say is just remember this league is just for fun, so just have fun with it. I mean, if one thing goes bad 1 week, it's 14 weeks, guys, so just have fun with it. Don't stress over 1 week or make it where you have an argument with your team or another team. Just have fun with it, and just know we will be doing prize ones in another prize one in the future, so just have fun with this one. This is the time you want to try to get together and learn stuff, and not say do cheese stuff, but try to experiment a little bit and kind of see what works for your team, and then just kind of go on from there.
Yeah, exactly.
I think you nailed it on the head right there. It's just, at the end of the day, just for entertainment, for fun, and if you're being an ass, nobody's that as well.
Yeah, and BMing is something we don't want in the league. So if we catch you spam taunting or not ending games when you can, like, that's going to affect people where they don't even want to play in the league, which if we had to pick between the team that got stomped that did not BM and the team that BM'd them, we're going to end up kicking the team that was hating out, not the other way.
Yeah.
Exactly.
All right. Well, I think that's gonna do it for this episode. Thank you so much again, Revi, for coming on.
Yeah, for sure. Thank you.
Perhaps do you wanna plug somewhere? Perhaps.
Yeah. I would say the only thing I guess I would plug in is the Audacity Gaming Twitter. So it's Audacity. I think it's SAL. I don't even know my own Twitter. Let me pull it up.
I'm pretty sure it's
I'm on Twitter. Yeah, Audacity SAL. So make sure you're following the Twitter. Just make sure we post a Twitch. We post who's being casted on there. We also post a YouTube video. So after we get done casting, we post all the videos back on YouTube. And then, like I said, if there's any big information with the server, that's where we're gonna post all the main stuff besides on the Discord.
Yeah. So be sure to be joined also Discord server. Just I think I showed us the gaming. And that'll do it, I think, for this episode. So thanks again for coming on, and see you guys next time. Bye bye.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks, guys.